Welcome to Palatine. Nice to meet you. How do you make that leap to even think about doing this film? Because you're talking to your grandma and grandpa about homosexuality, you're talking to your mom about having sex. I mean, in my house, we would all go blind. That would never happen. So, I mean, how do you actually start making a project? How do you make that leap to even want to make a project like that? And then talk a little bit about the technical side.
It wasn't something that I thought about in the beginning, that it would be such a challenge to make such a deeply personal film. It was a story that I felt really compelled to tell. I think my family story is unique, and particularly my parents' relationship, and that they're still very good friends, and even after the divorce, they continued to raise me together. So I think of it as sort of a modern family success story, and it's a story that I wanted to share. But you're right, talking to my parents about their sex life, and my grandparents about what it was like to be homosexual in the 60s was, it was a leap, and luckily they were good sports about it. I think my mom probably had the most reservations actually in wanting to keep her personal life private, but ultimately I convinced them why I wanted to do it, which was to tell the positive story, and they were on board after that. I guess I really wanted to blend my very personal story with the more historical perspective. So I wanted to have a lot of that historical footage and the timeline to sort of ground us in why it was my dad wasn't able to come out when he first realized he was gay when he was 12, or when he moved to liberal Ann Arbor when he was in his 20s, and that he really wanted to lead this heteronormative life. So I wanted to explain why that would be. And the animations are something that I've just always loved. I've always loved hand-drawn animations. The credits that you see in the film are actually the very first film that I made with my dad when I was 10 or 11, and it's an animation. So I wanted to include that in this film in a different way. So I had the idea to make the film probably in June of 2010, and started really writing it in August, and then started conducting interviews September through February, maybe March even, and most of the shooting was done then. We finished up most of the shooting by February, and then I continued to edit through the end of April, just in time for my senior thesis screening at the very end of April in 2011. So less than a year, which was, I would never try and do something that quickly again, but it came together.
Sophie, it was good to meet you. Thanks for coming. Good show, thank you.